Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ngani Titan. We're here on Kasserine Pass, and I'm in the T95E2, the Tier 8 American Premium Medium Tank. This is a relatively old game, it's from last March, but it demonstrates something that I've been striving to do for 2 years now, really, with varying degrees of success. But when it works, when I do it properly, it is very successful, and that is not to overextend myself into enemy territory. And by overextending, I mean moving beyond support of allies. It's my observation that the majority of World of Tanks players tend to drive forward until they meet the enemy, and then they make contact with the enemy, irrespective of how many they make contact with, and then they try and push those enemies, taking on multiple opponents sometimes, and they'll push beyond cover. They'll go around the back of the hill, out of supportive range of supporting guns. They'll go down into dips of the land where they can't be seen by supporting allies and stuff like that. There are certain things you simply can't do in World of Tanks, and in general nobody can do it, and one of them is taking on multiple opponents. If they're any way good at all, multiple opponents will beat you. They'll out DPM you no matter what kind of tank you have, or how fast your DPM is, or how good your armour is. And sometimes you can get away with it, but that's the exception, not the rule. So one of my persistent bad habits was to move forward until I'd made contact with the enemy, and even if I didn't push, I'd be too static. I would stay there, attempting to hold the position. And the trouble is, of course, that even if you're making no effect on the enemy you're dealing with, and he's having no effect on you, it's spotting you. And if you're isolated, eventually an ally will join him, and the 2 or 3 enemy tanks will come onto your position, and you'll find yourself completely just rolled over, because you're now up against 2 or 3 enemy tanks. Now that light tank has YOLO right into the back of the enemy team. Now I thought he was pretty much doomed, so I kind of stopped. I haven't a clean shot at anybody. They're on the wrong side of the town, and most importantly, for such an isolated position that I'm in, I was spotted as soon as I fired my gun. In fact, I've been spotted there just going around the back of those rocks. So I pulled back a bit further and try and lose the spot. And now I'm going to peek out again, see if I'm far enough away, because I'm still fairly isolated. I'm not sure if that medium there to my right would be in a position to give me supporting fire if I was attacked directly. The AMX M445 comes out, and as soon as I fire at him, I'm spotted again. So again, I back up behind cover, and I'm going to increase the range again. I'm just going to pull back a little bit further, because again, I'm not too happy that I'm, shall we say, that I have any support, that there's any tank in a position to assist me should I get into trouble. And there's no reason to believe that the Stradwagon or somebody else could come around the back of the town and actually approaching my position from from my left, so to speak. We've popped up again the AMX M445. Got another shot into him. We didn't get the final shot in, but we weren't spotted. So now I can poke the corner and see if anybody's there to be seen. And as soon as we come around, the Stradwagon is visible, so he is there, but he seems to be on his own. I haven't highlighted anybody else, and there is a medium now that's pretty close to my position. So I'm going to go for the Stradwagon. I'm going to come around this side. Somebody's just fired at it, so he's visible to more than just me. And he sits there in the open, trading shots with whoever fired on him. So I have now a perfect flanking shot, and he's tracked in the open, with 2 of us shooting at him. And I get the kill shot in. And he is then joined by VK3601H, who is now going to go into the same location. I get the tracking shot this time, and he's now caught in the open, isolated and alone, and with 2 enemy tanks firing at him. So the situation has deteriorated very rapidly for the enemy team. We're now 4 tanks up. Now I can afford to push, because I have full health, and we're 4 tanks up. And there are unlikely to be as many tanks around the centre as there were, because a lot of the guys have moved on, and a lot of the guys that were there are now dead. So there's at least 3 of them, and there's a 5916. He pops a shot off at me, but he doesn't connect. And I come around here and I can see this T-34 2G or whatever it is, the tank destroyer. I put a round into it, but I only get a tracking shot. I don't do any health damage, and he's pointing in my direction. So I'm not going to pull out there again, because he will be waiting for me. At least if he was smart, I'd expect him to be waiting for me. So I'm going to come around the other side of the buildings, because he's kind of, he's safe there from anything other than artillery. The enemy are losing tanks fairly fast. So around here, the T-34 tank destroyer has gone off to my right. So I'm going to chase him, because he's now around the other side of a hill, with a hill behind him between him and his own allies. Now he's pointing in my direction, but my allies are behind me, so I'm not just the only one shooting at him. So he's not going to last long. He might get a shot into me. He didn't even manage that, but as it turns out, it was an easy damage. Now I didn't get as much of it as I might have, simply because there were tanks behind me firing in, but now there's only 3 of them left, so the enemy situation has collapsed quite dramatically, and I can afford to be a lot more daring with my hit points, because there's only 3 enemy tanks left. I'm still at full health. Probably the most dangerous of the 3 remaining enemy tanks is quite possibly the light tank, because he could possibly go around me faster than, if he could go around me faster than my turret rotation. It's kind of hard to hit a tank that's circling you, especially a fast mover at close range. It's generally easier to hit tanks that are going that are far away from you, that you can scope into them comfortably, or tanks that are moving away from you and towards you in straight lines. Tanks that are crossing your front at high speed are actually quite hard to hit, because you have to give them the appropriate amount of lead. And this guy's been leading me so far in this fight. And we miss with that shot. I don't know, I think he went over the top of his engine. He drives into an enemy wreck. That one I think bounced off his side. I did manage to clip him a little bit with my tank. Did a little bit of damage. But I think it's an ally that finished him off, so I did very little damage to that light tank. Now there are only 2 enemy tanks remaining. Both of them are in the wadi, so I may not get any opportunity to fire on either of them. Come up here, but by the time I get to the top of the cliff, he's dead. And there's a Tiger 2 much further down. So I'm going to have to go around. I think I might have thought initially that I could come over the top here, but I don't think I can. I think I'm going to go around down into the slope where he's coming in, and seeing if I can get at him from that direction. So I can't climb there, or at least I didn't try too hard, because I don't have a lot of time. He's surrounded. There's multiple enemy tanks closing in on him, or multiple allied tanks closing in on him. And I come around here, and actually this is my best chance of inflicting damage, but I don't go for a whole shot. I go for the sides of the turrets, because that's probably the easiest place to penetrate him. And he's turned around. We put another round in, but we don't finish him off, and he's dead before we can complete another reload. Now, it isn't always easy to withdraw, but you should be willing to do so, and it isn't always easy to keep an eye on the minimap. It's very easy to get focused on what you're doing and stop paying attention to the minimap, and suddenly your team is melted around you and you're the only guy left and you're wondering what happened. We got a second class mastery, almost 2,500 damage, and we came number 2 on our team. The top 3 on the enemy team did significantly better than the top 3 on our team, but overall our team did more damage. So we won, that's why. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and share. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.